Greetings, Glitter Gang. Happy Thursday. Today is Thursday, October 8th. It's 2 o'clock, and you're watching Kathryn Scraps Live. My name is Kathryn, and today I'm gonna be crafting a Halloween project with paper from Paper Phenomenon's All Hallows Eve. And you'll notice that I have my planning tablet on the table, and that's because you're about to see what is a part of my creating process that you normally don't. Because normally when I release a project, the project is done. Meaning any growing pains the project has had, I did that all off camera, and you get the clean, this is the right way to do it version. But sometimes with the project, I get to a point where I'm like, this is like way too complicated. There's no reason for the project to be like this. You need to chill out and get a grip and find another way through to what you want. And I scrap everything I've done already except the idea or the goal, and then I start over. So, when I was making the triangle things, I was trying all these different ways to hide the magnets and to like reinforce the joints, and I have a ton of them in the recycling bin that I didn't like any of them, and because I was hoping to be like, okay, here's the best, quickest, easiest way to do the tripod. This is where you put the magnets. Everything is neat and clean and tidy. Here you go on a platter. And I was going to do one today, the last one, once I figured it out. However, that's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen is I'm changing the entire project. So instead of having 3 sides, it's now going to have 8 sides. Don't worry about it. It's not as big as a deal as it sounds. Okay. It's going to look like a square. For the most part, it will technically be an octagon, but it will look like a square. It's okay. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be so much easier. I swear. You don't need Tyvek. You don't need whatever the other thing is, Craftex. Okay? We're going to get through it together. And 8. It's going to have 8 sides, but relax. Okay? Just relax. It's going to look like it has 4 sides, even if it technically has 8 sides. Okay? It's going to be fine. I promise. We're going to hold hands. We're going to cry together. We're going to sing songs. 8 is easier than 3. I promise. I know. Look, I understand it's hard to have faith these days. But I promise that the 8 sides will be easier than 3. Okay? I'm going to show you it in the plans, and it's going to be fine. So before I do that, I'm going to post in the chat. If you can read this, you're probably not in a cornfield. Just so you know, if you're not in a cornfield. So if you can read this, you are probably not in a cornfield, but who even knows anymore with 3 ghosts, then you're probably not in a cornfield. If you can't, you probably are in a cornfield. So just refresh until you can see those 3 ghosts, and you'll be fine. And then let's say hi to everyone. So starting with Bev, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Bev. Gretchen says, woohoo, glitter time. Yes, it is glitter time. It's glitter time. We're going to make an octagonal Halloween project. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. It's so simple, probably. So what else? Let's see. Patricia, welcome. Hello. How are you? Joyce was in her she shed crafting. Wow. Joyce has a she shed. We all party at Joyce's house. Orly, hello. Kimberly, hi. Melanie is at the doctor's. Fran says greetings. Sue, hello. How are you? Catherine says hi, Catherine and the rest of the Glitter Gang. Happy Thursday. Carol Joan is here. Hello. Happy day to all from Judy Webb. Bev says hello, Catherine with 3 alien heads. That's right. That's about where I'm at. So, and then Ellen says hello, ladies. Hello, Ellen. Mary says hello, and then questioned 8 sides. So Sandra says hello. Candy says, good afternoon, everyone. Stephanie says that she's secretly watching and trying not to get caught. So don't be funny, anyone. Renee says, hi. Said with so much confidence. I know. Hello, Martine. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. All right, these chipboards are not totally cut right, but this is what I think we're gonna do. It's not all gonna fit on camera, but you know, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so they're gonna have little spacers in betwixt them, okay? So that they can have stuff in them, right? So it's technically gonna have a hardcover spine. And then we're just gonna like wrap it around itself. And then when you roll it out, you'll be able to turn it inside out and magnet one part of it to the back of the other part, and then it'll be an octagon sitting on your desk. And it'll look like this. Let me show you the top-down view. It's gonna look like this. So when I say it's technically an octagon, it's technically an octagon, but it's not. It looks like a square. And then this one will have like an extra little piece that magnetizes here, okay? So that these two magnetize to each other and hold it together. So yeah, I mean, yeah, does it have 8 sides? Yes, it has 8 sides, but like, does it though? You know, it looks like a square. It looks like a square. It's going to be a lot easier to make one 8-sided square than it is to make those 3 friggin' things. They're horrible. I hate them. I'm never, whatever, like, let's just move on. I don't know. The maniac made those, okay? Made the last project. This happens to me when I'm doing projects that have tutorials as well. Sometimes I reach a point in a project where I'm like, these are the ravings of a lunatic. Who is doing this? So there you go. None of that matters anymore. I know you didn't learn about 8-sided squares in school. This is an imaginary square. It's an unreal square. All right. Okay. So here's our piece, right? I mean, whatever. It's close enough. Okay. So this is our thing. And what we're going to do is we need to do some calculations. And then here's where it connects. So these 2 pieces have to be magnetized. So this piece needs a magnet. And this piece needs a magnet. And so this is piece number 1. This one is number 1. And this one is technically piece number 9. Okay? And then each of these ones, each side piece has to be slightly larger than the side piece that came before it. Okay? Because in order for them to nest, like nesting dolls, all the different layers on the inside of it so that it's like a book rectangle thing when it's all closed, each spine has to go up by at least 1/8 of an inch. And I think it's probably better if we go up 1/4 of an inch. So that means we have piece 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right, so let's say piece 1, this is going to be the most interior piece. So that has to be the smallest piece, and this is the most exterior piece, so that has to be the largest piece. So let's say we do 1 inch, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 3/4, 2, and then these are all 8 1/2 by 11. Okay, is it monstrously large? Yes. Is it going to be awkward to put together? Maybe. Okay. All right, so these are the pieces. So 1 2 3 4, 4 at 8 1/2 by 11. Okay, and then 1 2 or 1 1 1 1 1. Then there's 5 other pieces that are all times 11. And they are 1 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 3/4, and 2. Okay, this one, magnets. This one, magnets. And one of these has to have magnets as well. And it's this one because is it that one? Oh my gosh. Okay. So I am gonna have to, let me think. So this one folds in, folds in, folds in, folds in. This is the most on top one. But that's the one, the magnets, this has a magnet in it. That's the one the magnets are attached to. So it's this one that needs the magnets. That one. I think. So let's just fake close it. I like how I did say this was easier, but I don't think anyone believes me that it's easier. Okay. So this is piece number 1, the leftmost piece. We'll just fold that over, and then this gets folded onto this. Okay. And then this gets folded onto this. Okay. And then this gets folded onto this, and then the flap gets folded back over. So yeah, it's this one, which is the second to last one. The second to last one. The second to last one gets the magnet. It's fine. It's fine. All right. So that's where the magnets go. Magnets go here, here, and here. All right. We can do this. We can do this. This is no more complicated. I know this sounds like a lie, okay, but it's not a lie. This is no more complicated than a hardcover spine album. It's just multiple hardcore cover spine albums. Hardcore. This is a hardcore spine album. It's just multiple. See, look, if you look at it like that, that's just an album. You know how to make an album. And that's just another album right there. And that's just another album right there. Okay, so all it is it's a chain of albums. Just think of it as a chain of albums. And you'll be fine. We're all going to be fine. We're going to get through this together. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3. I hate my life so much sometimes. 4 chipboards. 8 1/2 by 11. Here's the 1-inch one. This one's 3. I'm going to cut it down to 2. And we'll get our, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cut it. Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm going to cut it to 2. That's fine. Okay, so we've got 1 and 2. These are all scraps. The Chain album. Yes, the Chain of Gold. It's the Chain of Gold album. Why gold? Just because. Or the Hardcore Chain album. Okay, so we need 1 1/4, 1 1/2, and 1 3/4. Okay, so I'm cutting 1 1/4. All right, so then we need 1 1/2. And then we need 1 3/4. All right, there we go. So there's all our pieces to make our 8-sided square. All right, here we go. Here we go. For cardstock, let's do, let's just use 12 by 12s and see how we do. So I'm just going to try and keep it simple. Yeah, you could temporarily assemble the pieces with tape here. If you want to see it, then we can do it. Here, I'll tape them together. Okay. All right. So that's why they get bigger, Mary. That's why these pieces get taller. Well, I guess actually we need to account for I'm going to also use the big thing we made last time in between them so that they have plenty of wiggle / mistake room. And I think we'll be okay. But the reason the pieces get taller is so that it's like think of the Russian nesting dolls. How each doll is slightly smaller than the one it's sitting inside. That's the same with these spine pieces. They're all slightly smaller. But hopefully this will be just functional enough that you can see the idea. I don't know if this tape is strong enough, but my husband just said if he hadn't listened to you before, he would be concerned that you were drinking and shouldn't be working with sharp objects. Because does that mean that I'm always concerning? Okay, so here, folding, and then folding. These are collapsing because, you know, they're tiny. folding, and then this one will come up like this, see? And close it on the side. That's what it'll look like when it's closed. See how they're all nesting inside each other? Okay. Now, how it would look on your table is like this. Only this will be here to close it. No, it's not going to fold completely flat. Okay, so, oh, well, anyway, do you get the idea? Do you think it will work, or should we just give up? Should we just quit crafting? Is it too, it's too big now? Is that what you're saying? It's Look, just get a bigger table. If it's too big for your table, just get a bigger table. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you like it. Just use 3 panels and then it could still be a triptych. Okay, let's think about that. So that would be just these 3. You want to do just 3, and then this one on the end. I mean, we could do it as 3. My concern with 3 is the corners and how it would look with 6 sides. I guess it would look like this. It would look like this. So these are your 2 shapes that you have to pick from. We have to do the 8-sided square. You're already committed to the 8-sided square? Okay. But you can cut it off at 3 if you want to. Just don't add the last 2 panels that I add. Okay? And then if you did that, you would put your magnets on this one. It's the second to the last. So if you want to make it with a 10-sided square, a 10-sided pentagon, you can. I prefer a square octagon, a squoctagon. So today we're making a squoctagon. Okay. So we need, here's our last 2 pieces. Okay. So I need to get okay. Let's start here. Now, let me tell you what set me down this path. Make sure your grain is running this direction so that we'll be doing all this folding with the grain. I'm going to leave the earlier videos up, I think, just so people know. I'll just put like, I don't know what to do. I guess I can just say, hey, like a deranged maniac made these. Really sorry. Okay. This was the old one. So our first issue is that we have only a 1/2 inch to wrap around. Now I'm comfortable with that because I know a 1/2 inch is like just enough, you know. But Oh yeah, just we'll just retitle those how to make an easel. It'll just be how to make an easel. It'll be its own series. Look, you guys got 2 free series for Halloween this year. You got the basic Halloween easel and the Squoctagon. So look, I'm such a giver, really. I was going to tell you why I started thinking that this design was terrible. Oh yeah. Okay. So remember how this folds up like this, and this is how the thing stores? This was where I was gonna have the waterfalls for the friggin' photos. So this did not work functionally. So then I was like, okay, well, it can just like live underneath, I guess, you know, like that. And then I was like, but I mean, that's just gonna be awkward to store, like it's because it's always gonna have this bow in it. So I didn't like that. And so then I was like, you know what? Let's just not. Let's just not to any of it. So that's how we got where we are. Squoctagons are your favorite. It's the Squoctagons are going to be the new rage. Just wait. But yeah, you could absolutely leave off the last 2 panels and make this a 6-sided triangle if you wanted to. All right, tape. Do I have any 1-inch tape? Nope, I just have tons of 2-inch tape. All right, here we go. Yeah, so we'll rename the old one a basic easel. And then this new one is the Squoctagon. This is the new geometry. The new geometry. In the new geometry, all the shapes have different sides. This is 90, I believe. I believe that's what the paper mill cardstock is now. It was 80 and now it's 90. So I'm not going to go like cover the thing. I'm just going to go all the way around the edges because it's not as big of a deal this time, I don't think. Okay. All right, got my tape, gonna burnish. Gonna peel my tape. Uh-oh, Melanie needs to be caught up. I mean, how do you catch someone up on what just happened? Really? If you do 3 panels, it will be a square angle. What is, what do you call something with 6 sides? A sextagon? Isn't a sex angle? Ooh, that's not sext angle, right? It's a T, sext angle. Oh, it's a hexagon. You're right. It is a hexagon. Sorry. Well, so it's a hex angle. It's a hex angle. All right, the 1-inch piece is the first down. And then I'm going to put the, look, this has been ruining my life all week. I am not in a good headspace. This is, you know, look, this is what happens when I'm working on projects. That's why it takes so long for projects or a hexagon. What about a triaxagon? A triaxagon? All right. Get your little thingy from when you made your easel. Look, because we're going to do plenty of breathing room on these pieces. Okay. And now I think we may have our first problem, which is the next piece to go down is gonna, yeah, it's right on a gap. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this so it'll be half and half on this spine piece. Oh my gosh, did Fran miss the whole thing? So I'm just looking on whereabouts I need to cut that, and I'm just gonna make a little notch. And you missed everything? Oh man. You missed my complete breakdown. So I mean you missed a lot. You missed a lot, Fran. All right. So I'm going to line the notch up with the gap, and oh, it's 3/4. So this first piece I'm cutting 3/4 of an inch off it. Ah. Ugh. Okay. Prepare to learn about Squoctagons. True, true. Okay, so that's adjusted. So now we're gonna set this piece down. This is crooked. Yes. Good. Glad I discovered it was crooked after I burnished it. All right. So I'm just gonna stick this here so I don't get it crooked again. And then stick this here. Okay. All right, now, okay, so we're gonna take another piece. We're gonna go all the way around, and, you know, we're just gonna keep going, basically. 1 inch. 8.5 inches, 1 1/4 inches. Look how nice I'm going to be. And this is M. This one's got to end up with magnets on it. On this side, I think. No. Hold up. One of them's going to need magnets on the outside, and one of them's going to need magnets on the underside. Right? Yeah, one of them will need magnets on the underside. This one needs magnets on the outside. So we'll put it on the outside of the cardstock, and we'll put a little piece of pattern paper over it to disclose, to conceal. We're going to conceal the magnets on the outside of piece 1 with pattern paper, because they have to be on the outside for this to work. But for this one, the magnets need to be on the inside. And for this one, the magnets will need to be, oh, they can be under pattern paper because they'll be on the outside. So we're fine. We're fine, we're fine, we're fine. Okay. Oh my gosh, Tiny Cat hiding in the middle would be so funny. Although Tiny Cat, she drove me one day when I was, you can still see some of the marks. One day when I was trying to work on this project. Shouldn't the magnets be on 3 short sides? No. 2 will be on short sides and 1 will be on a big side. The reason for that is because when it's in its closed position, when it's all closed up as an album, that extra flap that holds it together in the Squoctagon will need to be attached to what is the cover, and the cover is one of these, and that holds it closed so it doesn't unroll all the time. So that's why we'll have magnets on the one of the big chipboard pieces, which is the cover, so that the thing that holds the book but the side won't fold over. I don't know what that means. Oh, no. You're right. The side won't fold over. Oh, it'll just be stuck to, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I figured it out. You're correct. We would have to add another thing to it. Yeah. Okay. I get it. All right, everyone. Look. Candy is saving you from my fried brain. Magnet goes here. Probably. Or here. But it doesn't matter which one it goes on because it will go on the outside. This is the only one where the magnets will go underneath. So this is the only one where we need to know where the magnets go during the construction process because we have to incorporate them into whatever we're doing. So there will be a magnet either here or here, but we'll just wait until it's done and then we'll know. So yeah. So there we go. So you're right, Candy. Look, Candy saved you all from the madness. She saved you all from the madness. Everyone can wonder why they're being pulled to the Squoctagon. Oh, Gigi, welcome. I'm glad I'm glad you're here for the destruction of whatever was happening. All right, I didn't draw my lines, so I'm just going to try and line the cardstocks up with each other as best I can on the back here. All right, there, let's go. Another 8.5 by 11 piece is next. All right, so you need two liners uppers. You did make it for an installment of what not to do. Eh. Okay. So, where's my, oh, here it is. We changed the whole thing, Gigi. So the first 3 episodes are now how to make a Halloween easel. And this episode is now how to make a Halloween centerpiece. Okay. I have no idea what it's going to end up being. But it's going to be, well, 8.5 times 4. Plus like another 6 inches. So like 30. Okay. This is 8.5. All right. Now we just need to put some tape here. And I might do this corner as well. Actually, I'm just gonna see if I can get a piece of tape under this edge. Just to hold the edge down, because there's no tape on this edge. You know, okay, I'm just gonna, just come up. Just don't fight me. All right, there we go. All right. There we go. All right, I did it. All right, so now there's gonna be tape holding this card edge of the chipboard to the edge of the cardstock. Yay! So now that won't lift anymore. And then I don't like this, how exposed this corner is. So I'm just gonna put another little swatch of tape right there. Okay, all right. Okay, now we're gonna add our next piece. So, this piece is 1.5 inches. All right. All right. So far, this is 23.25 inches of cardstock, because this first piece was 11.25 and this piece is a full 12. So we've used 23.25 cardstock so far. And we're about to add our next 8.5 by 11. By the way, in case I forget, happy Thanksgiving to all the Canadians. I'm going to try and remember to, again, at the end of the show, let you, but I remembered. Enjoy your turkeys. All right, 8.5. Everything's by 11. Everything's by 11. Yeah, so happy Thanksgiving, Canadians. Happy early Thanksgiving. It'll be on Monday. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, so this is how we're looking so far. So far, so good. I'm going to move this so that I have room to tape this piece. And then this time I'm going to be smart and I'm going to put some tape on the edge of the chipboard. And so I don't have to jam. Bev's always just a little too late with the line warning. That's okay. We'll just use a ruler. Oh, the School of Essential Ingredients has a Thanksgiving meal in it? Perfect. Perfect. People have been crying all over the Traveling Cat Chronicles and a man called Uva. So we picked only tearjerkers this month, apparently. Only tearjerkers. All right, so that, and then I'm going to get the piece I just stuck all the tape to, peel the tape off, and then stick it down. But yeah, there was one time when I was trying to work on this project and Tiny Cat was up here and she was having like 22 meltdowns on my desk. And I didn't know what was wrong. I often don't know what is wrong with Tiny Cat. I'm not sure if anything ever is wrong with her sometimes, or if she just like cries like a baby because she wants attention. But okay. Yeah, she's like, I don't care what you have going on until you're busy, and then I must stand in the middle of what's going on. Fran says, sometimes I want attention. Maybe I should just plop down in front of someone and meow. That you would probably get it, you know, whether or not it was the kind of attention you wanted. But, you know, let us know how it goes. Okay. So I've added some tape in this little gap here. Now we're going to put down the next piece. Which is the 1 3/4 inch piece. All right, so remember, you're going to stick your ruler down. She cries like a baby too. Tiny Cat cries like a baby, like about anything, really. I mean, just her existence, her general existence requires crying like a, yeah, see, I need to fill in this little gap because otherwise this edge won't be on a piece of tape. It's just because of how this particular piece fell. That's all. So we were at 23 and a quarter. So now we're at 35 and a quarter so far. And then we'll put down an 8.5. Our last one. My mom's old cat, the evilest cat who ever lived, used to chirp like a bird, but was mostly silent the rest of the time. Her little, she didn't make much noise. Her voice box didn't make much noise. All right, 8.5. Okay. All right, so we're gonna make our last piece of cardstock and put down our last piece of chipboard. And our last piece of chipboard needs magnets on it. So I'm actually going to place the magnets now so I don't forget like a dummy. And we'll just put them right smack in the middle. So this is a 2-inch piece. So we'll put them 1 inch in. And I'm also going to draw a line a 1/2 inch in because I'm going to use 1-inch magnets, 3 of them, just because I don't want to deal. So that'll help me line them up. And then we'll come in 1.5 inches from the sides, and then I'll come 4.5 inches in. So this is 1.5 inches in, and then let me just line this up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put my 1/2 inch line there. And then come 1.5 inches in on this side. All right. So now we're going to put down tape. We're going to peel the tape up. We're going to get the big magnets. Which are somewhere in here, right? Do I not have 1-inch magnets right now? Are you serious, past Kathryn? Ugh. Past Kathryn is the literal worst. I don't have 1-inch magnets. Unless I didn't put them away in the magnet drawer. And they're somewhere else. But that doesn't sound like me. Let me just look. No. No. No, I don't have 1-inch magnets. They're not stuck to my Big Bite. I did check my Big Bite. So the metal tool that I keep in the magnet drawer is my Big Bite. And they're not stuck to my Big Bite. And they're also not stuck to the box of metal tins. So I just don't think I have them. I just don't think I have them. However, these magnets here, they're hard to see, but I have these really teeny tiny ones. Ugh. That fit into, what is happening? Okay. They fit into 1/8 inch and 1/4 inch holes. Like Candy said, this is what we're gonna have to do. It's my only way forward, I think. Stop. So I just have to think about, okay. I gotta get my magnets a little organized here because it's a problem. Come out. Okay. Ugh. My magnet door has gotten a little, drawer has gotten a little weird. Okay. Alright, stop. You go live with all your friends in the magnet bag. Wait, no. Just kidding. Come back. Go live in here. You can live in this bag. Oh, you found your X-Acto blades that you put somewhere safe 1.5 years ago? Well, that's nice. Surprise X-Acto blades. Okay. So I think I'm going to use the ones that go in 1/4 inch holes. And I'm going to put 2 rows of them. I'm going to put, I'm going to put a row 1, 2, this doesn't look correct anyways. Oh, because it's not 4.5, it's 5.5 because this is an 11 inch piece, not an 8.5 inch piece. Okay. All right, so cool. All right, so got my main magnet bag, my bag of metal things, another empty bag I can use for something else. Wow. Okay, you know what? That's fine. You don't need to be in a bag. You can just live on the side of this. There you go. Remind me if I can't find those later. They're in a prescription pill bottle. Okay, so I need to make a line at 5.5 inches. So, oh my gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Fran says her magnets live on her table legs. Mine used to live on my closet rail. And then I'm going to make a line 1/2 inch in. Okay, up here as well. And I'm just going to put 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put, so there's going to be 9 magnets on this. I don't know if I'm going to need 9 magnets. Feels like overkill, but you know what? I cannot come back in and redo it if it is overkill, so. We'll just give ourselves plenty of places to attach. Candy says her magnets are on the side of her IKEA cart. All of you have such smart places for your magnets. You don't have them in a drawer where you have to like wrestle with them to get them to do what you want. That's weird. That's weird. And the last one. All right. So, okay. Everybody else can go back. Okay, you guys just stick to each other for the moment. All right. Okay, now. Woo! What was I gonna do? I need to add a 12 by 12. So we're still at that point where I'm adding, I need to tape a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. Okay. Which this will be our last 12 by 12 cardstock for sure. The pill bottles work great for corralling them. I just need to remember to put them in here, up in here, meaning my craft room, instead of recycling them. Because that way, at least, they don't, the different sizes don't stick to each other. Because they're all in their individual bottles. This one I'm going to go all the way across just because I think it'll be easier. All right, so now this is taped. I squished my finger in my corner chomper. So don't chomp your fingers. Pro tip, don't chomp your fingers. Okay, last time. Oh my gosh, okay. All right, ruler. Where are you? Here's a ruler. And that's the end of it. So once you get to here, just go ahead and like cut it off to 1 inch. And then this piece that's left over is 2 1/4 inches. So we cut off 3 1/4 inches plus 2 1/4 inches. So we cut off 3 inches total. And so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 45 inches, something like that. It's big. It's big. But remember, it lives folded up. So it's not like flopped out like this unless you're setting it up to display it. Okay, so now is when we're going to put the magnets on. And the most important thing is they all have to face the same direction. So just make sure when you pull them off, that you pull them off in a consistent way. That's all. So that they're all have the same polarity. No, well, that's okay. If that happens, that just tells you what the polarity is. You can just peel it off and slide it over. And if you're unsure, just see this attracts, and so that attracts. So if you're unsure, you can just check that way, and then you can pop it out and fix it if you need to. So they should all either attract or repel. But what I do is I just hold it facing the same direction. I put my thumb on top of it and I slide it over so that it's pinched between my thumb and forefinger. And then I know I just push it down in with my thumb and they'll all have the same polarity. Okay. Now, I mean, we just have to treat it like any other book and wrap it. So, oh, we got to cut the corners first. I'm going to use a corner slightly larger than I need, just so I have extra wrapping room because I do have such tiny sides. All right. So you know the drill, start underneath to crease it. Push it against the side so that it's sticking to the sides straight up, and then crease it down over the top, and then push it down. And then with this, just kind of, there we go. See, look how familiar this is. You've done this a million jillion times. Okay, and it folds up on itself if you need it to. Really? Okay. Just gently fold it up on itself. Don't like crease it or anything. You're just making a book. Just tell yourself, I'm just making a book. Those magnets were 3/8 of an inch by 1/8 of an inch. So 3/8 diameter, 1/8 thickness. And that way they fit right inside a 1/4 inch hole and you don't have to widen the hole. If they were 1/4 inch, they wouldn't fit quite as nice. So it's better to actually go 3/8 if you have the opportunity. You know, if you could choose between 3/8 and not. All right. One panel down. Just keep swimming. Take a water break. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, I mean, once this is wrapped and lined, then the Squoctagon will be basically done. See how I lift it to kind of push that in there? Just training my cardstock a little bit. Welcome to Geometry House. Welcome to the Squoctagon. Welcome to the Squoctagon. It's like an octagon, only stupider. All right. It's like a year only with size. It's a tiny house if you're a cat. It's a tiny house if you're a cat. It's a tiny house for tiny cats. Okay, so now that I've done all of this side except for the last piece, or a normal size house if you're tiny, that's true. It's more like a normal sized house. Okay, so my little non-skid piece came off. We should get Tiny Cat up here once it's finished and see if we can get her to go in it. Now, has a Tiny Cat hair in it already. So we went from mini albums to pet houses. Yes, this is now a pet house channel. We just make pet houses. But only if your pets are really small, like Tiny Cat. Not for normal size pets. Okay, now tuck in my corners just like I would with any other album. You have a Chihuahua, then you're all set. You're all set. We are almost there. We just need to do this little piece, these two pieces, and we're almost gonna be, well, then we can close it up so we can see it and how it works. It is a quilting mat, a self-healing. It's a self-healing quilting mat from Fiskars, I believe. Or no, Ginger. Yeah, Ginger. I don't know. Oh, the name's just off camera, but it's Gingher, like the scissor company. I love it. It's like 2 feet by 3 feet. It's great. Nice big work surface. Gives me space to, you know, line my pieces up, because I always have a grid on my desk. I love working on quilting mats, and I can cut right on the desk as well. Hi, May. Okay, friends. Look, we did it. We did it, we did it, we did it. It's done. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my God, it's so exciting. Okay, so this is how it works. Ready? Ta-da! What? What? Oh my gosh. What? It just worked. It just worked. Look at that. Look at that. Or, this is how we close it up. To store it, so it's a Squoctagon and it's an album. So then that's how you unroll it. We did it. We did it. So much better than 3 easels. Oh my gosh, the 3 easels were my like nightmare fuel. Much easier. Much easier. Absolutely. Absolutely. So this is how it's going to work. So this is the inside, and this is where we're going to put like our photo-y stuff. Okay. Where we're going to put our memory keeping stuff. So this is the part we're going to decorate, have all our photos on. And then the back, which is the outside, is where we'll use our really nice pattern paper to make like scenes and stuff, you know. So the pattern paper that's too pretty to use, that pattern paper we'll put on this side. All right. So the last thing we have to do is very annoying, but we have to cover this whole inside with black cardstock. So we need pieces of black cardstock that are 10 3/4 inches tall. You know, and we're going to go just all the way across. Okay. It is a display project, yes. Or so you can keep your memory keeping stuff on the inside, or you can keep your memory keeping stuff on the outside as well. It's up to you. So far we've used, let's actually count, hold on. Let me count so I can tell you the measurements for the paper. Okay. So we have one piece of cardstock that, this first piece of cardstock was 11 1/4, 12, 12, and then 9 3/4. Okay, so 2 12 by 12, 1 11 1/4, and 1 9 3/4 inch piece were what we used. So yeah, it's large. It's definitely large. All right. So 44 3/4 is its size. Okay, so this is a 12 inch by 10 3/4 inch piece, and I'm going to cover it. I'm going to cover 3 of these with tape all completely, and then we'll see where we are. Well, I should just cover 4, right? We're going to need a part of a 4th one. So 12 by 12, 12 by 12, 11 1/4 by 12, and 9 3/4 by 12. Those are the sizes of your pieces. And after I stick this tape down, I'm going to write it down. Yeah, it's very big when it's lying flat, but when it's in its storage mode, it's not big. It's about 8 1/2 by 11 by 2. And when it's in its display mode, it's an 8. It's like a 9-inch square, basically. So not too much. Not too much in any one position. All right, I'm so excited because tonight we're gonna finally get to start decorating. And with the scenes, even if you display it so that the scenes are to the inside, the scenes will still be seen because they will be, when you're flipping through it to open it up, you know, you'll see them then. So they're not totally hidden. So anyway, I do think this is easier than the 3 easels that ruined my life all week. Sometimes my ideas are you know, rough drafts. Yes, that's true. We could put an expandable envelope barbachine in the panel that it was the inside, the most interior panel. It is already going much more smoothly than the project, which shall not be named. And no Tyvek and no liquid glue. And you could use it for any season or time of year, true. You could make a fall one. You could make a Christmas one or whatever holiday you celebrate in the winter. You could make just a plain winter one. What else? I mean, this would be good for like a big party, like an anniversary party or a graduation party. Yes, a spring one. You could make a really nice like floral one to have out in May. So yeah, there's a lot of different ones. Could do a vacation one for summer or like summer vibes. You could make just like one that matched the decor of your home with family photos for like a generations. Oh yeah, it might make a nice wedding gift, totally. For them to display their wedding photos in their home. Yes, these are all very good ideas. You're all so smart. All right. Whoa, here we go. Now, when I peel the tape, I'm going to peel the tape from the entire piece. But we're going to put it down slowly. So I'm going to put it down, you know, I'm going to get it lined up in my corner. Okay. But what I'm going to do is when I press it down, when I get to these grooves, I'm going to gently push it into the grooves. So I'm going to just kind of keep coming across, and then when I get to a groove, I'm going to gently push it into the groove. Okay, just so there's a little more give there, you know, that you have a little more cardstock there than if you went just straight across. All right, that'll make it easier later when we've got a bend on all of these for it to bend. All right. So piece number one, and then we will do the same thing. We just keep carrying across. Yeah, one of these would be really pretty for Christmas. All right, so it's the same thing. We're just gonna line it up. and kind of press it down and then pull the bone folder until we hit one of those grooves, and then, you know, push it into the groove gently. I am not putting force on this. Then twist it out until you hit, oops, come on, come back up please. Okay, until you hit the next groove. And then pull it out. Okay, and then again, just very gently ooh, a new baby. Yes, it would be good for a new baby too. Especially if like you had it ready for the shower and it could be used as a centerpiece at the shower. All right. Okay, now we're just gonna add another one. So this is our third 12-inch piece. And they're 10 3/4 inches tall. Okay. And again, just kind of hold this side up until you can push it down in, come over till you get to the next groove, push it down in, and then press it down. All right, so here you can see I have a little bit of a problem with tension, but I think maybe I just didn't burnish this well enough. So let's see what happens if I keep having problems with tension there. All right. I'm just butting it up to the previous one. Okay, so now we just have to go from here to here so we can measure. So it's 7 1/4 to the edge here, so I am going to do 7 1/4 and then I'll overlap it right here. So I'm going to start on the end. Actually, I'm just going to do 7 1/2 because I don't mind if it overlaps. Okay, by quite a bit. By a full 1/4 inch or so. It's not a big deal to me. All right. Why am I having this one overlap? Just because they are not always perfectly straight. So it's hard to butt up this last one. So if I start from the corner and have it overlap just a little bit, then I won't have to worry about if they meet perfectly or if it's like a weird angle or something, it'll cover any craziness that may have happened. Just because it's so long, it's really very difficult to keep paper completely straight for a run of 48 inches. So this way you don't have to worry if things are a little screwy at the end. You can just cover up where it's screwy. So I'm going to start in this corner, get it lined up nicely. And then all right. Okay. So this is where we're going to need magnets for the closure. Okay. And then for the display piece, this is where we need the magnets. All right. So here it is. So here's the Squoctagon. Okay. You'll see as you go, things pop up. When things pop up, just keep pressing them down. Eventually they'll stop as everything kind of shifts and stretches, because the paper fibers need to stretch a little bit. So they're going to shift and move. Okay. All right. So let's now try to make sense of, and stuff like this. Eventually I'll have pattern paper on top of it to help hold it down. Okay. Yeah. All right, now how do we want to do our magnets? So let me now get there we go. Okay. Will this be strong enough? Or do I need... Is somebody upside down over here? What's happening? All right. Do I think this is going to be strong enough? Ooh, the magnets make this thicker. So yeah, I think we are gonna maybe not do magnets because the magnets are adding too much thickness to our little side there. So what we might need to do is think of something else. Metal disc, maybe metal disc will work better. It won't be too thick. Let's get some metal discs. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm going to change some things, not on mine, but in what I tell you, or for yours. I'm going to change the size of some of these pieces. Because even though I did increase the height of the sides and I did put such big gaps in between them, I think you are going to want to take 1/8 of an inch off each chipboard piece. So, the order is this now. Okay, wait, I'll write it on the planner sheet. So, here are the final measurements for this thing. All right. So, this is the Squoctagon. All right. So, your chipboard. Goes one piece that's 1 inch by 8.5 or by 11 inches. Then the next piece is, this is 8.5, 3/8, 1/4, 1/8. Okay, so the next piece is 8 1/8 by 11. Then the next piece is 1 1/4 by 8 or by 11. Everything's by 11. Then the next piece is 8 1/4 by 11. Then the next piece is 1 1/2 by 11. Then the next piece is 8 3/8 by 11. Then the next piece is 1 3/4 by 11. Then the next piece is 8 1/2 by 11. This will just give you guys a little bit more breathing room. It won't be quite so tight on the sides. And the last piece will be 2 inches by 11 inches. So everybody is growing, all right? So the sides are growing by 1/4 of an inch and the panels are growing by 1/8 of an inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw it out here. And I'm gonna just label what each of these pieces is. And I'm gonna label it over here too. That way you see the layout pretty clearly. So this is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. All right, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They're growing for Thanksgiving. G, F, G, H. Okay. So I. All right. And then I has magnets. And A has magnets. And E has magnets. That's where the magnets go. All right. So there's the layout. Yeah, they're exactly so this one where it's 8.5. This one was like, you know, the beginning of October before the Halloween candy came in. By the time we get here, it's after Thanksgiving and we're all fat. Okay. All right. So this is the Squoctagon. This is all the chipboard measurements. So now we need the card. And the cardstock, it's a little, you know, I didn't really do, it's not too complicated. We had two that were 12 by 12. We had one that was 11.25 by 12. This is the first. And we had one that was 9.75 by 12. And this is the last. Okay. So that's the cardstock. Thank you, Lou. I use the St. Ives oatmeal with shea butter on my hands. That's the main thing. But I also put jojoba oil. I massage jojoba oil into my nail bed and into my nail. And then that oil, I also rub it, if, you know, whatever's left over, I rub it all over my hands. So I also use just plain jojoba oil like in a bottle. Okay. So that's the cardstock. This is the outside cardstock. And the reason I use jojoba oil is because jojoba oil molecules are smaller. They're the only oil molecule that's small enough to go through the plate of the nail down to the skin that's under the nail, and then down into the root where the nail grows. So other oil will just sit on top of the nail, but jojoba oil is small enough to go through the nail. And that way you can hydrate your nails. And the way you know if you've done enough is you put the jojoba oil on your nails, and after an hour, if your nails are dry, then you have to do it again. And then you just keep doing that until after an hour your nails are still wet. If there's still oil on your nails after an hour, then just rub whatever's left on your hands and you're done. And like once you get it going, you don't have to like do it all the time. You don't have to catch up constantly, you know, because your hands and your nails stay nicer. Oh no, that's terrible. Okay, and so then we also have, is the camera having another meltdown? Ugh, I really hope I don't have to get a new camera. I do not know what the problem is. Let me quickly just finish the cardstock and then we'll just be done for now. But I'll hold this up so you can try and get some screenshots in between the camera craziness. And then on the inside, it was 3 pieces that were 12 by, maybe it is overheating, 12 by 10 3/4. And 1 piece that was 7.5 by 10 3/4. And this is the inside. This is the inside cardstock. All right, so here's the Squoctagon. All right. So I'm going to hold this up for a bit so you can get a picture or a screenshot, or just pause the video if you're watching the recording and write it all down. So this is the Squoctagon, and this is what we're going to be moving forward with. I'm not going to stretch mine out, so probably what will happen is mine won't close at the end, but you know, whatever. I'll survive. I'll survive. Or maybe what I'll do is I will remake it over the weekend, but we'll still decorate it tonight, and I'll just move whatever we do tonight to the new one. That's probably what I'll do. All right. Just smack it. It does not appear that smacking it has worked. All right, I'm going to head out for now. It's almost 4 o'clock anyway, and this is a good resting place. So I'm gonna do that. But I mean, I'm really happy with the Squoctagon. I'll see you guys tonight. We're gonna start decorating the Squoctagon. We're finally at decorating. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. I'll be back at 9 p.m. Eastern USA time tonight. That is 5 hours from now. So whatever time it is where you are now, I'll be back in 5 hours. Happy Thanksgiving to the Canadians. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. People who are overseas and are headed to dinner or to bed, have a wonderful evening. I'll see you next week. Everyone else, have a wonderful afternoon. I'll see you tonight. Bye now.